Hi everyone, Rob here, and greetings from Wisconsin. So earlier this week, Sergeant, one of our newer clan members, was asking about setting up a more defensive-minded base. Now Sarge is a Town Hall level 7 and he's in the middle of Gold League and seems to find himself getting picked on more often than not. So how can someone like Sarge set up their base in such a way where they don't get plowed over every time their shield drops? Well, first of all, let's look at this in a different way. Instead of asking how do I keep getting from plowed over, ask yourself, what makes me pass up another base when I go out to attack? I mean, think about it for a second. When you go to attack, how often do you attack the very first person who comes up? I mean, rarely, right? In fact, I generally cheer when I find somebody that quick to attack. Which means the vast majority of bases you come across, when you look at them, you actually sit there and think, nah. And why is that? What makes you skip one base and move on to the next? Because if you can answer that question, you can figure out how to get other people to skip yours. So my best suggestion would be just go off and attack, but go through the selection process with intention. Before you skip a base, ask yourself, why am I skipping this base? Because let me tell you, and this is my big Dr. Henry Cloud moment for the video, success in life, it only boils down to about 5% finding the right answers. There are people out there who are great at finding answers, but they still have a rough time in life. On the contrary, success is 5% finding the right answers and 95% asking the right questions. So I sat down one night and wrote out the reasons I decided to skip a base. And here are my top reasons. Reason number 1, the loot was too low. The vast majority of bases I skipped because the number of troops required to take that base cost more than the loot I would get back. So, for example, I generally take 2 Lava Hounds at about 450 D each, 15 Minions at 10 Dark Elixir a pop, and 26 Loons worth 4,500 Elixir. And when you do the math to figure out the cost of your army, you come up with chair. Alright, so when you let someone else do the math, you come up with just shy of 120,000 Elixir and 1,100 Dark Elixir. So knowing this, I know that if I attack somebody with 10,000 in loot grand total, then even if I 3-star them, I'd still be taking a loss. So I'd skip those players. So how does this help you? Well, if you keep your loot low, then that will encourage people to move along when they come across your base. Reason number 2, the base was stronger than I thought was worth going after. Some of the bases had plenty of loot, but they were strong Town Hall 10s. I could probably pluck a star, steal some trophies, but why when there are plenty of whales out in the sea? So I'd pass them up for an easier target. So how does this help you? Well, if you're a Town Hall 5, and you're in Champions League, then probably the vast majority of the players could plow your base over with just what's in their clan castle. The lower you get though, the number of people who can plow you over dwindles. Case in point, I can 3-star a maxed out Town Hall 7 without using spells or heroes. But then again, I'm usually hanging out in the Masters League. However, I'd bet if you were to take that same maxed out Town Hall 7 and put it down into Bronze League, it'd be sitting pretty. And this works on a couple of situations. For example, if I'm upgrading 2 or more defensive structures, there's a good chance I'm gonna drop down to like a gold or a crystal league. A couple of other thoughts before I go. Consider leaving your town hall out in the corner to be picked off. Sure, you're guaranteed to lose trophies every time somebody attacks, but you rarely lose any more loot than what's already in your town hall, which isn't much. Having said that, avoid putting traps around your town hall in an effort to protect it. It's like whistling out of tune in prison. All you're gonna do is annoy the people who can have their way with you. Because I'll be honest with you, when I come across somebody who's left their town hall out, I'm probably gonna be nice, take their town hall and leave the rest alone. I mean, unless they have like 500,000 in loot, in which case, I'll plow them over. But if I drop my queen and Teslas pop up, oh, you better believe that it's gonna turn into a 3-star pretty quick. That's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. Now go spend time with your family. That's how I get cat hair in these videos.